Now, live from Whitney Media, 1460 WVOX, the Greenburgh Report, with Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner. You can join in the conversation at 914-636-0110. Now, on 1460 WVOX, here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Good morning, Westchester. My name's Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and we have a really interesting and timely program today. My guest is Jackson Tavel. Jackson is a student in Edgemont High School and is the head of our Greenburgh Snow Angels program. He's also the head of all our Angels programs. Does Landscape Angels, founded that, and oversees the TV Angels program. So, Jackson, could you just tell us a little bit about the Snow Angels program?
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you.
So the Snow Angels is an awesome program where volunteers shovel houses for seniors and people with physical limitations in our community. And it's a great way to give back, and it only takes a little bit of time on a snow day or if you have a little time when it snows. And it's a great way to help life go on for seniors. And I encourage everyone to shovel a driveway for somebody in need.
And if they don't live in Greenburgh, people may want to start up their own Snow Angels program. Could you tell us how long you've been involved with the Angels?
Yes. So I got involved in the Angels program about 5 years ago with my siblings. And the first time I remember getting up early, it was early morning, we were a little groggy, and we shoveled for 2 to 3 hours. We did 3 houses that day, and we immediately fell in love. Ever since, we've tried to increase the number of houses we do every single snow day and every chance we get.
And could you tell us any interesting stories about some of the people you've helped? Why is this so important, and why is this vital for some seniors?
Of course. I've met a whole bunch of wonderful people in the community. A funny story I will share is I don't typically take money. I don't ever take money, and I encourage it to be donated. But there was this one time when this lady was persistent in trying to give us $20 for sushi. She said she loved sushi and wanted to share it. And every single time I take out my shovel, I have her and many other people in mind. And I'm so grateful for the interactions I have. They always have such wonderful stories to share and always have such a just cheerful attitude. Always brightens my day.
Sometimes when seniors are alone, if their driveways or walkways are not shoveled, it could be dangerous for them. How come?
Of course. So should anything happen that is an emergency scenario, if there's any sort of blockade to the house, it can be detrimental to somebody's health. And so a shoveled driveway or a shoveled path can really make all the difference when you only have so much time to help out. I've heard a few stories of people who have fallen or had a heart attack, and one of the reasons why they're still with us today is because of a shoveled driveway, that the right people were able to reach them at the right time. And there's also the aspect of people need food and people just need help with daily activities. And so loved ones and friends and neighbors can reach them much easier if there's a easy passage to the house.
You seem to really care about people, and where did you get your ethics? Where did you get your passion to make a difference in the lives of other people?
Yeah, I think it's really started with my grandparents. It's become kind of like a labor of love, where my grandparents have had such an impact on me. I have one grandma. I have two grandmothers still alive. One of them has Alzheimer's, and doesn't live near me. And the other one is as sharp as a tack, and we recently just moved her in, and moved her into my house so we can help her 24/7. And just seeing the amount of help they need and being able to provide the help for them made me want to help many other people's grandparents and other people in my community who were like my grandparents. And I just feel so fortunate that I could help my grandparents. And I wanted to find a way to give back. And I love my grandparents, and I'm sure other people love their grandparents. And so it's really for them.
Great. We have to take a 5-minute break, so please stay on the line, and we'll be back after this brief break. And my guest is Jackson Tavel, and he's the head of our Greenburgh Snow Angels program, and is doing an amazing job helping other people who are in need.
Thank you.
WVOX. Now back to the Greenburgh Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Hi, I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and I'm interviewing a remarkable young man, Jackson Tavel, who's a student at Edgemont High School, and he's the head of the Greenburgh Angels program, Snow Angels, Landscape Angels, TV Angels. He basically is devoting his free time helping make life better for others. And before the break, you were talking about your grandparents and how you care for them and how they've inspired you. And it also brought back memories of my grandfather, Benjamin Fuchs, at the turn of the last century, in the early 1900s. He sponsored 5 immigrants from Russia to come to the United States, and they became some of them became very successful. One headed up a department store, and when I was like 5 years old and 6 years old, he would tell me the stories about how he sponsored them and gave them a chance, really took an interest in them, and that inspired me to go into public service. So your story reminds me of the reason I went into government to help people. But I wanted to ask you, you're doing an amazing job, really care. Are there other people out there who are also helping, and how do people volunteer? Jackson? Great. Yeah. How do people volunteer?
It's really easy to sign up. I have a form that I can put out. I can ask you to put out on the Greenburgh website, and I also have an email that they can contact me with. And it's a really simple process, and the impact for such a simple process is truly remarkable. All it takes really is an interest and a little bit of time, and I'll find something you can do with your time that is meaningful. I've had a lot of people sign up for the Snow Angels today, but I always need more. I have many seniors and people with physical limitations with a lot less volunteers. And I really implore anyone to just give 1 to 2 hours of your time. That can mean 2 driveways and 2 people helped, and that really makes all the difference if you have the time for it. But it's really easy to sign up. Again, all it takes is you to reach out to me, and I'll get you on your way.
Right, and I posted notices both today and yesterday on the town website with a volunteer sign-up sheet.
Yes, sir.
So hopefully you're getting more volunteers. About how many Snow Angels do we have?
Well, we have a lot of snow angels, and unfortunately, because of, variants of COVID going around, many of them are out of commission for today. I would say if we were at full power, we could be at maybe as high as 80 people helping out on a good day. And really, all we need is a little more than half of that, and we can help. We can help all the 150 seniors and people with physical limitations on the Snow Angels list, and it would be truly remarkable.
Right, and it's aggravating when somebody highlights their, the need for a snow angel when we can't find somebody. So if people want to volunteer, they should basically, what's the email of the angels?
Angels of Greenburgh, NY, @gmail.com. It's all lowercase. I'll repeat it again. Angels of Greenburgh, NY, @gmail.com. And I know so many people are out there wanting to help and wanting to give their time, and people have just such busy schedules. But if you can find the time, again, it makes all the difference in the world. And, what I found is the first step is really the hardest. After you volunteer for the first time, it's addictive. You love it. And it just takes one time, and then it snowballs, unintended.
Right. And today's, the snow is not, well, it's heavy, but it's not that many inches. So probably it doesn't take a lot of time to clear up the average, driveway.
Of course.
Are most of the volunteers students, or are they students and residents?
We have a pretty good combination of both. I find that many students also sign up, and many students are willing to give their time. We have representatives from high schools all over Greenburgh, and a lot of very giving people that are quite awesome. And you're completely right. Today is a good day, and typically snow isn't that heavy, and it doesn't take too long to shovel a driveway. Just today, I was able to do a driveway in 30 minutes that allowed the homeowner to go to a doctor's appointment, and I also cleared out their oil tank so they can have their oil changed. And so really a little bit of time goes a long way.
That's great. Do you basically yourself just do the snow near the driveways near your house, or do you go around?
I'll go anywhere there's a need. I think the furthest I've ever had to drive is about 30 minutes, but the person really needed help, so it was totally worth it. And but typically I try and I try to assign people houses close by to their in their neighborhood, and sometimes people even have requests for their given town, and I try my best to accommodate for that. And I would say the average drive time is no more than 10 minutes.
Are most of the volunteers very reliable? Like if somebody volunteers and signs up, most of the time, could you count on them, or is it like hit and miss?
It's more hit and miss, I would say. Some volunteers are awesome, total rock stars with the shovel, and they are willing to give their time, and they're also always reliable, always communicate with the senior and with me. Sometimes some volunteers aren't, and so it really is hit and miss, but the best thing you can do if you can't make it is just reach out to me, and I'll reassign the person's house, the senior and or person with physical limitations, and that's the best way to do it if you can't show up.
You have, a lot of seniors, and it must take a lot of administrative time. Do you have people, volunteering and helping with the administration of the Snow Angels program? Or do you do most of it yourself?
There's a lot of effort that goes into it all around. I have friends who have helped me out a little bit and given some time that they can. I have a lot of friends who shovel. One of them in particular.
We have to take another break. right now. Just a 3-minute break, and then we'll be right back.
Thank you for having me on.
Tavel, head of our Snow Angel program, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Snow Angels program and also about the Landscape Angels program, which he started earlier last year. I'm Paul Feiner.
1460 WVOX.
Now back to the Greenburgh Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and my guest is Jackson Tavel, who is the head of our Greenburgh Snow Angels program and the Landscaping Angels program. We have a TV Angels program. Are there any other angel programs that you think would be nice to organize?
I would love to create a system for taking out trash and recycling for seniors. I know a lot of people have asked for it, and I've been trying to help everyone myself. But I think it would be an awesome idea to create more kind of like a buddy system with a volunteer and a senior. Some people have asked me for things out of the scope of the landscaping and snow and TV angels that I think a volunteer dedicated to helping a senior would be able to help with. That would be such as building a shed, moving a bunch of wood around, taking out trash, paper recycling, commingled every week, and it really can help a senior out because doing a simple task like that is not worth hurting yourself if there is rough terrain when somebody else can totally be allocated to do so.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Landscape Angels and how you got the idea?
Yeah, totally. So the Landscaping Angels is like the Snow Angels in that we have seniors who sign up who would like assistance of upkeep of their house. And we also have volunteers who are willing to help out. And we assign volunteers houses, seniors to help out their houses, and we make sure it's in the scope of what the volunteer is comfortable to do. Some volunteers are rock stars, and they can mow, they can trim, and some volunteers want to weed, and that's totally fine. You can find people to help everywhere. And the idea came up actually through a friend of mine, and I was totally on board right when he suggested it. Unfortunately, he had to leave right after its inauguration. But my friend Fabio Scarcelli, he had the idea through helping out his grandmother, actually, over when the pandemic was at its highest and we were all quarantined. He was helping her with weeding and mowing her lawn and a lot of what the Landscaping Angels do for seniors in our community, and thought, maybe there should be more people and people should be deployed and maybe I can help other people, and thought that the town of Greenburgh with your guidance would be the best way to grow that program. And so it really related to me. He has a very similar story with me wanting to help our grandparents, and it started last year in the middle of summer and then ended, and it has been going ever since.
And that's a tougher job, I guess. There was somebody who mentioned to me I do bike hauls around the town, and they said that you and some of the volunteers removed a major eyesore. There was an elderly woman, and the property was horrible, and you cleaned it up, and they were really very, very grateful.
I find that a little goes a long way. It can really make somebody's house look absolutely amazing. And there are some projects that are much more labor intensive than others, but typically the only way to get through a project is to start it and keep going. And so that's our motto. Right.
And again, with the Landscape Angels, one of the benefits of that is not only are you helping the individual who cannot afford landscaping, but you're also helping improve the quality of life for the immediate neighbors, because sometimes you see grass growing really high, a lot of weeds. It becomes an eyesore for the community. And if somebody is taking pride in their property and their next door neighbor's property looks like it's a slum, it detracts from property values for everyone.
Totally. There are numerous benefits that I've found with the landscaping angels, and that's only one of the many.
That's right. For the landscape angels, are most of the people, very low income, and also seniors?
Yeah, many of them have told me that, they used to be able to do them themselves, and they used to actually love to weed or love to tend to their garden, but can no longer do it, and they can't get somebody to professionally do it. And so many of them are totally reliant on the volunteering power of our community. And so that's why it's so important for people to sign up and give their time. It can really make an impact on somebody's day, month, and even year.
Yeah, one of the other questions I had is, do you ever feel that you're being taken advantage of by somebody who just doesn't want to, say, remove the snow? I remember one year somebody called me. They said they had a heart problem, and, I went to their home. I spent 3 hours clearing a driveway of snow, and then as I was finishing, the son opens the door and looked like a bodybuilder and thanked me. And I said, why am I helping when the son could help? Have you had situations where you've helped somebody and then you felt that you realized you should have helped somebody else?
I've been fortunate so far to attract people who seem like they really need help, and all these people don't seem that they're taking advantage of me, and really everyone I've met has been just so wonderful and so nice, and again, they've all had such wonderful stories that they love to share with me, and so I've been happy. I've been fortunate enough to not have to deal with that. But in the past, working with the snow angels, I actually have a funny story where we were gonna get ready to go to someone's house, and they said, actually, we don't need your help. We figured out how to turn on the driveway heater. And so that was a funny moment, and we informed the previous director of the Snow Angels to take them off the list probably for next year and let them deal with it themselves, because if you have a driveway heater, the volunteers are not necessarily needed.
That's so interesting. Do you find that it's more fun working with a team, or do you basically go out by yourself most of the time?
I love working with a team. Sometimes it is by myself. There is times where it's just like everyone's tuckered out, and there's a few more people that need help, and if I don't help them, they're gonna need it. But anytime I can, I love working with a team. I always love collaboration whether it's in school or in some sort of activity. And so I've reached out to a lot of friends, and a lot of them are helping me at various projects. But yeah, it's always fun. We make it into a little bit of a game competition. We love to play music, and it really helps get us into a rhythm. And I find that, projects get done so much quicker when there's a lot of hands on deck, and there's a lot of gung ho to get the project done. And so yeah, I love working with other people.
Right, and again, your passion can make people want to work even harder, and can inspire others to do the same thing. Next year, you're going to be going to college. What colleges are you applying to?
Oh, wow. I have a pretty hefty list going, and I'm hoping to go to college next year, and I'm also hoping to stay involved with whoever can take over next year. Do you want me to name a few colleges that?
Yeah, that's great.
I love I'm really interested in Tufts University, Amherst College, Boston University, Northwestern. I really like Michigan. I really like UVA. I really like, there's just so many wonderful colleges out there that I've had the privilege of applying to. I really like Emory, University of Richmond, and there's just so many good fits that I find are out there, and I've enjoyed the process, and I'm in the middle of applying to all these colleges right now.
Right, and as I indicated, I'm definitely going to write recommendations to anyone you want, and I'm sure other people would also. We have to take one final break, and we'll be back in a few minutes with Jackson Tavel, who is the head of our Greenburgh Angels program, Snow Angels, Landscaping Angels, TV Angels, just helping people improve the quality of their life. So we're really fortunate to have a good, positive story about somebody who's giving back. I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Now, back to the Greenburgh Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenburgh Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Good morning, Westchester. I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and we have a very inspiring story. Jackson Tavel is a student and at Edgemont High School. He's going to be, he is the coordinator of our Greenburgh Snow Angels program, now in its 31st year, and is overseeing a group of volunteers who are clearing driveways of snow, helping people with landscaping, seniors and disabled residents who don't have the financial means to do gardening and different chores. And we're just talking about what inspired him. He mentioned his grandparents inspired him. The question I have is, you're a remarkable, person who really is passionate and spends a lot of time. It's hard to find people who share that type of, passion. Do you think you'll be able to find a replacement when you go off to college? And are there people being lined up now?
Thank you. And I know there are a lot of wonderful people out there who would love to give their time and put in the effort. And, there are a few people that I have in mind that I know would do a great job when I hand it off to them. And so, yes, there are some people lined up, and I'm confident that they will be able to do an even better job than I can this year.
And it's interesting because when I started the program, I was like the executive director, but I didn't do nearly as good a job organizing the Snow Angels as you and some of your immediate predecessors. We probably have had high school students serve as executive directors of this program for at least 3 or 4 years. Have you worked with other former directors of the Snow Angels program who inspired you and helped you do a good job on this effort?
There has been some communication with prior directors such as Miles and Lilliot from Ardsley. They helped out a lot last year, and I have some of their records from emails, and I've been reading them and asking them and questions, and they answer me very, very quickly, honestly, and to the point. I so appreciate that. But I've learned so much from from the people in the past. And so I'm doing my best to try and keep improving for the future.
Does your school encourage students to get involved? And do you find that right now a lot of students are interested in helping to make the world a better place, even if it's not through the Angels program?
Yeah, I know a lot of people just in my school alone, Edgemont, that are very impactful to the community in many different ways, in very interesting ways. And there are a lot of people who, in my school, I know are willing to give their time. I started a club at my school to find volunteers for this, and almost immediately I got 40 volunteers to join, and they've been diligent in helping any chance they can get. What they're finding is that it's a very low commitment, and it doesn't take too much time, but the impact is just it's just massive. It's a massive impact, and I think that they're all enjoying it, and I'm very, very happy with the work that they've been doing.
Right. Every time I speak to you, I think, I wonder what you're going to do, like in 20 years. And have you been? So the two front runner ideas that I have for you would be going into politics and government, because I think people would love to see somebody who really cares about the community hold elective office, or going into the clergy, because those are the two, or maybe the social worker, or heading up a foundation. I'm wondering what you see yourself doing after college.
Well, I imagine myself as a snow angel and Greenburgh angel, landscaping angel, all of that for life. And so I'm going to definitely try and find ways to give back to my community. Right now, I'm very interested in the sciences, and I would love to make the world a better place, especially for my loved ones like my grandparents and parents and siblings and the people around me, by inventing a better future. So my major interests are in physics and math right now. But I have been considering getting into some politics and trying my hand at running for something.
That's great, because I think you'd be a great public servant. In fact, you'd run against me. I probably would have to flip a coin and decide whether I'm voting for you or me. Because
I appreciate that.
Because I really feel that you're exactly the type of person we need in government, because you really care. You're giving back. You really are not doing this for the glory or the attention. You just want to help people, and I think that's what we need, more of, and among people who hold, public office. So I strongly recommend that you, at some point, consider a career in elective office. I think you'd be really, really great. Do you think when you graduate college that you're going to want to stay in this immediate area, or you're not really sure?
I'm not quite sure yet. I think I'm going to let the future, dictate where I go and future opportunities. But I know that I'm always going to be connected to the Greenburgh community and find ways to give back to it. And so, I already have plans for next year when I'm off from college, visiting home, shoveling or landscaping for a few seniors and helping out my predecessor. So I feel like I'm always going to be connected to here. I don't know if I'm going to live here or somewhere else, but I'm going to let the future decide that.
That's great. So could you tell us again how people could contact you and how they could get involved in becoming a snow angel.
Yeah, it's very easy. Getting involved is as easy as emailing my email. It's angelsofgreenburghny@gmail.com, and all of it's lowercase. I also have a Google form that is a quick and easy fill out, only has a few questions. And then from there, I'll set you up with somebody to help. And there's just so many people in need that even for whatever work you're willing to be able to do, that there's always a need for it. And there's always somebody that can help. And even a little goes a long way, and it's not that much of a commitment. And I guarantee to you, after the first time, you're going to love it and want to give more time.
Another thing that I should mention is if somebody volunteers and becomes a snow angel, or if somebody's asking for a snow angel and they live in Greenburgh, because this is a Greenburgh program, and we don't have enough volunteers to help today, it could take a day, 2 days, a few days before we get to everybody. Is that something that you highlight when people call, that we can't guarantee immediate attention, because sometimes after a snowstorm, people just want to get out of their house, 10 minutes after it snows. And if we don't have enough volunteers, that's not going to be always possible.
Yeah, totally. I wish I could help everyone today. Personally, I'm going to shoot to do from around 10 to 15 houses. I've already got one down, and I'm going to go right after I hop off this call to help out more people. But, yeah, that is something. It's going to be a lot of shoveling in the upcoming days, and I'm going to try and get to everyone. I'm going to get to everyone, if that's going to be tomorrow, Sunday, or maybe even Monday before I get to school.
Right, so that's something that we really have to highlight and keep the expectations, accurate. We only have maybe a minute left, and I'm wondering if there's anything else you'd like to say in the remaining time.
Yeah, if you have a little bit of time, or if you have a want to volunteer, just go try it out. And I guarantee you'll fall in love with it. It's easy, it's lower commitment, and it's a great experience. So please try it out. I hope you have an awesome snow day. And thank you all for listening. And thank you so much, Mr. Fine, for inviting me on here. I had a great time.
Great. So I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh, town supervisor. And I'll speak to everybody next week. And be safe. Thank you. And thanks, Jackson, for everything you're doing.
Thank you. I like that.